I'll call the meeting of the Tennessee State Funding Board for June 24th, 2024 to order. As we begin, I will note the presence of a physical forum and will first ask if we have received any requests for public comment.
We have not received any requests for public comment.
Very good. Therefore, we will move on to the next agenda item on the meeting. Item number 2, which is consideration for approval of minutes from the May 14th meeting. Members, I hope you took time to review those minutes in your packet prior to getting here. Unless there's any corrections or alterations, I appreciate a motion and second to approve the meeting. Have a motion properly seconded to approve the meeting from May 14th. All in favor, any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Minutes are approved. Next today, we have a report from the Department of Economic Development and Community Development for approval of a fast track project. Who's going to present today? Alan, come on down. Or you all come on down. And certainly you'll want to go over the balances and the accounts things first, but you all are recognized as you would see present.
Thank you, Mr. Comptroller. My name is Alan Borden. I have the privilege of serving as the Deputy Commissioner for the Department of Economic and Community Development. To my far left is Jamie Stitt, and Jamie serves as our Assistant Commissioner of Business and Workforce Development. And to my immediate left is Jessica Johnson, who serves as our Assistant Commissioner of Finance and Administration. With your permission, sir, I'd like to turn it over to Jessica to provide the State Funding Board our funding report.
You're recognized.
Thank you. Our balance for our fast track fund as of the last report is $610.9 million. We have $5.3 million as categorized as newly deobligated funds, $1 million for fast track grants approved greater than $750,000, and $1.4 million for fast track grants approved less than $750,000. We have $459,000 in fast track administrative cost, which brings our adjusted fast track balance available to $613.3 million. Our total amount of commitments is $523.8 million, bringing our uncommitted fast track balance to $89.6 million, or a percentage of 85.4% committed. Today's proposed grants are $1,250,000, which would bring our uncommitted balance to $88.3 million for a percent commitment of 85.6%.
Thank you very much. Members, any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. Mr. Comptroller, we have one project to present to the board today for your approval. That would be PPG Industries. This project will be going into Loudon, Tennessee, which resides, of course, in Loudon County. PPG Industries, I'm sure the board members have heard of this company. They're a global brand, very large company that's headquartered in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They develop, manufacture, and distribute paints, coatings, and special materials worldwide. Today, the company operates across more than 70 countries with reported net sales of more than $18 billion in 2023. The Loudon plant will be PPG's first new U.S. manufacturing facility in the last 15 years. So that's something that we're very proud of as part of the company's greater investment to expand more into the automotive industry. And they will have in Loudon a 250,000 square foot facility with dedicated space for both warehousing as well as paint and coatings production. They will commit to create 129 net new jobs and make a $225 million capital investment. And they'll have an average hourly wage rate of $34.57, of which we're also excited about. This is against Loudoun County's median county wage rate of $17.98. We are requesting your approval today for Fast Track Economic Development Grant funds to help offset expenses such as new building construction, acquisition of real property, and other qualified expenses for a total of $1.25 million. So our total request for approval today is $1,250,000, sir.
Very good. Members, you've heard the description. For the purpose of discussion, we have a motion.
So moved.
Have a motion properly seconded to consider the project. I have a couple questions. In regard to this project, has the company signed the incentive acceptance forms, and do they fully understand the agreement?
Yes, sir, they do.
Have the checklist been completed for each project?
Yes, sir, it has.
And in regard to this project, does it also include an accountability agreement which provides protection to the state in the event the entity cannot fulfill their end of the deal?
Yes, sir, it does, and it has been executed, sir.
Very good. Members, other questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the project as described, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign. The item is approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Go Vols.
Next up, we have presentation and consideration for approval of the Tennessee Housing Development Agency schedule of financing for fiscal year 24-25. Trent Ridley, you're here to present and you are recognized.
Thank you very much. Trent Ridley, Chief Financial Officer for the Tennessee Housing Development Agency. Each year, the statute requires THDA to submit to the State Funding Board our schedule of financing, which you have before you today is a FY25 schedule of financing for THDA. As you know, this was approved by THDA's board on May 21st of this year. And the schedule, without going into a lot of details, it actually contemplates about $600 million over 3 bond issuances throughout fiscal year FY25. So with that, respectfully request your approval of the schedule of financing and be glad to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you very much. We have a motion properly seconded for approval of the schedule of financing. Any discussion or questions? Commissioner Bryson.
My understanding is this is significantly more than we did in prior years. Is that correct?
Actually, it's less. It will be less than we did last fiscal year. I think with the closing of the last bond issue we did, which is closing tomorrow, actually, we will actually have done 1.1 billion last fiscal year closing. So this is contemplating less than that.
Answers my question. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? If not, all those in favor of approval of the item, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign. The item is approved. Thank you very much. Next, we have consideration for approval of a resolution allocating from the debt service fund to the capital projects fund $154,564,000 and canceling certain authorized bonds. Sandy Thompson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As you mentioned, this resolution does cancel bonds for the University of Memphis 101 Properties project in the amount you mentioned. This project provided funding through the commercial paper program for the University of Memphis to purchase properties and sites and existing structures in accordance with their master plan. University of Memphis has repaid this amount, and so we are asking that we have these bonds in like kind canceled.
Thank you. Members,
Move to approve.
we have a motion properly seconded for consideration of this item. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the item as described, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign. The item is approved. The next item on our agenda today is consideration and acceptance of the Tennessee Consolidated Retirement System affirmation of standby commercial paper purchase agreement. Sandy Thompson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We are currently under an agreement with the TCRS to provide a standby commercial paper purchase program for our GEO commercial paper program. Each year, this is a 5-year agreement, but each year the comptroller receives a letter from TCRS, from the chief investment officer, indicating that they do not plan to terminate this agreement. And they ask that we also provide a letter to them under the signature of the comptroller to indicate the same. And I believe that we presented that letter to you to be signed, and that's also in the packet.
Thank you. Members, you heard the description. I'm going to make a motion that we accept the letter from the TCRS and authorize the comptroller to notify the TCRS on behalf of this board and to execute and send a letter to TCRS to affirm that the state funding board will not terminate this contract. I'll make that motion. Now we have a motion made, properly seconded. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the item, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign. The item is approved. The only thing left on our agenda today is adjournment. We have a motion for adjournment. Seconded. We have a motion, properly seconded. All those in favor of adjournment, please respond by saying aye. We are adjourned. Thank you.